welcome back to Gingham and Steel Bakes. It's December, which means it's finally Christmas time, which means we can finally do Christmas recipes, which I'm so excited about. So we're doing our December Christmas episodes here in my sister's kitchen because it's so much easier to work with than a New York apartment kitchen. So let's get started, shall we? Today we will be making white chocolate peppermint pie because that just sounds like the most amazing thing I've ever heard. I've never made it. It's very exciting. What we're gonna start with is the crust. We're going to take 24 Oreos, and I picked mint Oreos because they're my favorite, and if we're making a peppermint pie, I don't think you can have too much mint. So, the instructions say take 24 Oreos and crush them in a blender or food processor, and then mix them with melted butter and press them into a pie pan. So that's what we're gonna do. 2, 4, 6, counting's hard, 8, 9. We're gonna do 12 at a time because I don't know how well this blender is going to handle it. Ugh. All right, here we go. Oh my. Crush. Oh no, I need to figure out how this blender works. Ugh. All right, let's try this again. It might be loud, warning. So we can only do so many at a time and then we have to clear it out. Guys, there's Oreo dust kind of everywhere. Oh God, it smells so good. It's really hard not to eat these Oreos as I go, guys. Ugh, they are so my favorite. I had them for the first time probably a year after I'd graduated college, or half a year, because it was the first Christmas after I graduated college. And so they always kind of taste like, you know, that first year on my own and my apartment and the holidays. So I have to say, I prefer mint Oreos to candy cane Oreos, and maybe that's heresy, but I don't know, the flavor's better. And I can say this objectively because when I was on the cruise ship last year, we got both candy cane and mint Oreos and tested which ones were better. Mint are better. Oh, and darn, there's 4 left. Okay, we got through that experience, and now it's time for the fun part where we actually get to start doing things that are not busy work. So I've got a 1/4 cup of melted butter here, which is like a half a stick. So, and I'm going to mix this with my Oreo crumb crust, which looks like the best of all worlds. I'm gonna mix it and then press whatever this delicious mixture is into my pie plate. The nice thing about an Oreo crust like this is you don't have to bake it. It's done. And now's the artistic part where I prove whether or not I can create a pie crust. Okay, so we're gonna press it nice and firm, and then press it up the walls. Oh, it's kind of gooey. I want it to have like a decent pie shape, like a nice clean crust. You know what? We're gonna call that close enough. Because it looks like a pie crust. And this recipe has plenty more to do. So, ta-da! It's ready. And I need to wash my hands. Okay, the next step that we're gonna do is make the white chocolate mousse. For that, we start with 3/4 cups heavy whipping cream. Now we're gonna put that in a little saucepan here. So what we're gonna do is heat this heavy whipping cream over medium heat until it's hot but not boiling. And you never, I don't think you ever want milk to boil because it will curdle, which is really gross. So then once we get this nice and hot, we're gonna mix in white chocolate chips and magical peppermint extract. So we're gonna start by turning this on. Boom, over medium heat, which is about here. Here we go. I don't think I need to like stir it, watch it, but I don't really have anything else to do while the cameras are rolling, so I'm really good at staring at milk. I guess it'll tell me when it's hot but not boiling when there's steam coming. That would make sense. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. So what I'm gonna do now, I've turned the heat off, I'm removing it from the heat. And it just started, oh yeah, look, it's steaming, I called it. Now I'm going to add the white chocolate chips. This is 12 ounces of white chocolate chips, or I guess you could use baking chocolate either. It's sort of all the same. And oh wow, that had an instant effect. the chocolate is like almost immediately melting. I'm just very carefully trying to mix this together so that A, I don't spill the milk, and B, so that it starts to sort of meld. I think this calls the whisk. The whisk. See, I should have started with the whisk. This is much easier. Oh yeah, it's coming into like a nice chocolatey sludge now. This looks good. All right, this is a nice texture. It's sort of runny and homogeneous. At this point, I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of peppermint extract. Now, when we're playing with something as potent as peppermint extract, I don't overdo it because this can get really intense really fast. All right, I'm going to let this sit and cool now while we work on the rest of the mousse. Okay, so while that cools, I'm going to take another 3/4 cups of whipping cream. I'm going to pour it into my lovely KitchenAid mixer, and we're going to whip it on high until stiff peaks form. Get in there! Oh, it's so magical how this works. Yeah, we did it! It's got stiff peaks. Okay, so we've taken some time and gotten our peppermint white chocolate mixture cool. Now we're going to very carefully fold this into the whipped cream mixture, which should be interesting. Oh, it smells so good. I don't care how it comes out. All right, so now we're just gonna fold this in gently. It's a little lumpy, but in the interest of keeping it, I'm going to, keeping the whipped, I'm going to let it be lumpy, and I am now going to pour it into my prepared pie crust. Oh, well, that looks good. Okay, so I'm gonna set this to the side now, and we're going to clean this bowl really quick and then whip some more heavy cream for the topping. All right, time for the very last part. We're gonna take 1.5 cups of more heavy whipping cream. We're gonna put that in our mixer. So what we're gonna do with that is whip it again until stiff peaks form. Here we go. We have stiff peaks. At this point, we're going to add 1/3 cup of powdered sugar, unceremoniously and getting it everywhere. And we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And, because I forgot it last time, the red food coloring. Ooh, that's quite red. All right, you know what? That's gonna be close enough. We're now going to release it from its cage and spread it over this pie and then stick it in the fridge and have it for dessert tonight. How does that sound? I know, delicious. Fold.
Wait.
Well, what?
Can we pipe it?
Oh, you want to pipe it?
To make it look pretty.
That's so fancy. Okay, we've had a suggestion from the host and peanut gallery, who was the professional cake decorator. We're gonna pipe it! I have never piped anything in my life, so this is now useless, and hang on to your hats. Okay, so I just had a quick tutorial by our slightly camera-shy host, and I have now been given a piping bag. We have filled it with our whipped mixture, and so the keys to the piping bag are apparently keep this nice and tight. This is my squeezing hand. This is my directional hand. So we're gonna try for a big rosette, all right? Guys, I've never done this, so hang in there with me. All right, so we're gonna start in the middle. Guys, it actually kind of looks like a rose. We get to put it in the fridge. There's a little final touch that we're gonna put on right before we eat it, which is crushed candy canes, but you don't wanna put that on now or it will bleed and sop. So we're going to put this questionable flour into the fridge, and I will see you when it's time to eat it. Bye. Okay, so theoretically it has set. I sprinkled some candy cane crushedness on top of it because it's really adorable. You don't want to do that before the end because it'll melt and be all ugly, but shall we try and see what it's like? Okay, so it could have used a little more time. It's a little goopy, but that's not going to affect the flavor, just the presentation. So let's give it a shot and see how it tastes. It's just Christmas. That is Christmas in your mouth. I hope you take a shot at making this pie. It really, apart from the shredding of the Oreos, it was actually very simple. Make sure you leave yours in the fridge for long enough. And otherwise, let me know what you're baking this holiday season. Isn't this the season when everybody bakes? So I want to know what you're baking, whether it's cookies or pies or a gingerbread house. And otherwise, next time, I'll see you on Gingham and Steel Bakes.